Welcome back to the channel, guys. Thank you so much for joining me as always, as we dive into more 28 years later, the Bone Temple. So we're going to continue our conversation around the newly released trailer for the Bone Temple. This is going to be part 2. If you did miss out on part 1, make sure you go back and check it out. I'll leave a link down in the description. We covered the first half of the trailer. There were so many great questions, talking points, and speculations that we covered about this upcoming movie. And we're going to do the exact same thing here, but in the second half of the trailer on the points that we didn't get to in that first video. So without further ado, let's start getting into this second part of the trailer. And let's see what kind of talking points we can start to investigate here. So, up first in this video, we're going to be talking about the Jimmy Gang. We can see they're sat in this small kind of townhouse or this kind of farm country house. We can see the residents stood behind some of the Jimmy Gang members, and they clearly look uncomfortable. There's clearly something kind of sinister going on here. What exactly is the Jimmy Gang doing in this townhouse? What are they looking for? What are they trying to achieve here? So, to me, they could possibly be here for a number of different reasons. They could be here to recruit new members into their Jimmy Gang. Maybe they're trying to expand their kind of small army or their small group. So they may be looking for recruits to join them. That's possible. Also, they could be there just to possibly steal resources, to take people's food, to take people's fuel, all that kind of stuff. Obviously, in an apocalyptic world, every man for themselves. You've got to take the resources as and when you can. So maybe the Jimmy Gang are just, there to intimidate people, steal their food, steal their resources and all that kind of stuff. Or purely, are they just there to intimidate people, destroy settlements, just for the fun of it, just for their sinister nature? I mean, they just get excitement out of kind of terrorizing people. That could also be an option as well. So there's several different options there of what they could be doing in this small village. And like I say, you see him sitting around the table. We see Spike there in between the Jimmy Gang. It looks like he's become a fully fledged member. He's got the kind of golden wig on. He's got the tracksuit, but he doesn't look too sure of himself. He's kind of sat in the table between the gang members, and he doesn't look so sure about what he's doing, or he doesn't feel comfortable with it. You'll have to kind of speculate on that and decide for yourself. In the future, will he continue to be a member of their gang? Will he betray them? What exactly is going on with Spike? I mean, that raises a whole lot of questions in it of itself. Okay, so moving on to this, I've named this section the Village Assault. I don't actually know if they are assaulting a village, but it definitely looks like it. So we see these images here. We see Spike, he's got his bow and arrow. He's wearing the Jimmy Gang, obviously the clothing again, the wig and the tracksuit. He's aiming his bow and arrow at someone. Could he be aiming at Jim, Cillian Murphy's character? Could that be possible that, they're having a face-off towards the end of the movie? I mean, that would be pretty mind-bending if that's the case, but he looks, Spike here, he looks pretty, pretty angry, he looks pretty determined. He's standing his ground here, so he's definitely got the confidence there. And then we see them kind of stood outside of this small kind of farm stable, and there's a bunch of people running out of this stable being set on fire. And what exactly is going on here? Did these people set themselves on fire because they got infected? Did the Jimmy Gang set them on fire? I mean, there's a whole load of questions here. I mean, this is completely out of context. These scenes happen very, very quickly within the trailer. So guys, you have to look at this for yourselves and just come to your own kind of theory about what exactly is happening here with this fire. I mean, we saw in the first part of the trailer, Dr. Kelson, he set himself on fire with that ritual at the Bone Temple, and now it looks like more people are also setting themselves on fire, or the Jimmy Gang is setting these people on fire as well. So there's a lot of fire going on in this movie. What exactly is going on with these people setting themselves on fire here? There has to be some sort of reason for it, and like I say, I throw it off to you. Drop your speculations and your theories down below in the comment section and let me know what you think is going on with all these people setting themselves on fire, because I really can't come to any answer as to why this is happening, but I can't wait to find out. So with that down, that brings us on to our next talking point here, the Jimmy Gang base. So I've been theorizing and speculating about this, looking at the trailer, looking at the images, looking at the set leaks that came out last year, and it looks like they could potentially be using this place called the Richard Dunn Sports Center. So this was filmed in Bradford. If we take a look at the image that's on screen now, we can see we got the Jimmy Gang towards the bottom. They're in this kind of abandoned car park. You see in front of the Jimmy Gang, there's that car parked at an angle, and it's got both of its doors open. And if we switch to this next image here, this was taken by a fan who flew a drone over the top of the car park. We can clearly see we have the Richard Dunn Sports Centre in the background. The yellow arrow represents where the Jimmy gang are standing in that last picture. And then we have that exact same car with the 2 doors open. So we know the Jimmy gang was standing exactly where this yellow arrow was. And we have the Richard Dunn Sports Centre. So I theorise they're using this Sports Centre as their base of operations. You know, they're living there, it's their settlement. They refuel, sleep, shelter, eat, drink, be merry, whatever else is that they may be doing. I don't know this for a fact, but there was a lot of filming going on around the Sports Centre. So I'm assuming they're filming the outside. And then instead of actually filming inside the Sports Centre, because it's been abandoned for a long time, it would be too dangerous. So I'm assuming they're going to be using a different set to represent the inside of the actual sports center where they're going to be living, if that is indeed their base of operations. But I would love to know what you guys think about it. We also have this picture here. So this is what the sports center looks like from a different angle. You can see the sign here, the Richard Dunn Sports Center, and this is basically what it looks like when it was in operation. I think this is quite an old picture now, but you can see from the front the big sports center, and then that car park that we saw in the previous images is kind of on the other side of the sports center, kind of behind it. And another thing that people have been talking about as well, if we go back to this first image, in the background, we've got this big kind of town, this kind of landscape, and people have been theorizing as to, you know, where exactly is this in the movie world? Because in the real world, it's filmed in Bradford. But as for this actual town in the film, I don't know where this is shot, but a lot of you guys have been speculating, so I'd love to know where you think this actually is. We see those 2 tower blocks, we see the kind of abandoned city or town there, and where do you think this actually is in regards to being in the movie rather than the real world location, which is Bradford? Okay, so up next, it looks like one of the Jimmy gang members has possibly gone rogue. Again, this is me just theorizing. I don't actually know if that's the case, but we see this this Jimmy gang member here. She's got like binoculars. She's stood out in the countryside, and she's making her way on a solo mission. There doesn't seem to be any other of the Jimmy gang members around her. And she has this kind of confrontation with this infected guy. She takes him down and dispatches him quite quickly. So she's pretty proficient with a knife. That leads me to believe that maybe she had a military background or something, because she's pretty good with this combat knife. And usually people who are pretty proficient with that kind of thing, they usually have like a military background to some degree. So that leads me to think that, although I have no sort of reason to say that, but it's just me taking an educated guess. But yeah, we just see her kind of on a solo mission there, and I would love to know what you guys think about this. Do you think she went rogue and basically left the Jimmy gang? Did she escape? Did she kill Sir Jimmy Crystal and then leave? Or is it just the fact that she's just completely on a solo mission by herself? Or it could be the third option, where maybe the Jimmy gang are right behind her, but we just don't see it in the trailer. So there's lots of options here, but I would love to know what you think. They prominently show it in the trailer, so I think it has to have some meaning behind it somewhere. So up next, the Jimmy gang arrive at the Bone Temple. This is going to be one of the most pivotal, craziest scenes, I think, in the entire film, and I cannot wait to see how this goes down and what exactly happens here. I mean, the Jimmy gang rock up to the Bone Temple. Dr. Kelson, does he set up traps? Does he know they're coming? Is there like an early warning system? I mean, what are they there for? Are they looking for something in the Bone Temple? Do they need some sort of medical help or advice from Dr. Kelson? Are they there just to destroy the place? Are they there to do some sort of sacrificial ritual? There's so many questions here that can be raised about the Jimmy gang being at the Bone Temple, but man, I'm so excited to see how this goes down in the conversation that we're going to see between Kelson and the Jimmy gang, or Sir Jimmy Crystal. Like, that chemistry between those 2 actors and the characters is just going to be so insane. And I think it's going to be bananas to watch. And I'm really excited. What do you think is going to happen when the Jimmy gang turn up? Do you think it's going to be met with, do you think it's going to be met with hostilities from Kelson? Or do you think he'll embrace it and be kind? Whatever your theories are, guys, do let me know. Would love to hear what you have to say. Okay, so moving on to this, we have a bunch of what looks to be survivors here in the forest. They've been attacked by the infected, and we have this one guy here who's looking up towards the camera who's been infected. And as we go along, we see these 2 survivors running through the forest. And if you see just in the background, just behind this woman here, you can see that infected guy. I think it's the same guy that we just looked at in that previous picture. He's got the maroon kind of dark red t-shirt, and you can see that these two guys are being chased by that infected behind. And I came to the conclusion that I think that this woman here, we can clearly see she's pregnant. She's got a baby bump. She's clearly pregnant. And I thought to myself, also we see him there running towards this locked gate. I think this is towards the train somewhere. Is it the same woman who gave birth in the previous movie? The infected woman who gave birth. Do they get captured by the infected? Do they get turned infected? Then that woman ends up giving birth as that infected woman. I don't know if it's the same person. But man, I'm speculating that it definitely is. I mean, a pregnant woman being chased by the infected. Then in that first movie, we have a pregnant infected woman giving birth. I think it's the same person. I really do. I have nothing to solidify that theory, but I think it goes without saying. I mean, they're prominently showing an infected woman escaping from the infected. Then in the first movie, we have that pregnant woman giving birth. So I think it's a flashback to showing what happened to that pregnant infected woman before she was infected. So yeah, pretty crazy stuff there. So again, in this next talking point, it looks like we have a survivor here. I thought in the first part of the trailer, I thought this archer, I thought this was Samson before he was turned infected. I thought it was like a flashback, but it turns out that it's not, because if we keep going forward into the trailer, Samson is actually attacking this guy. So it's not Samson, but I mean, who is this mysterious archer? Where did he come from? Where's his settlement? There seems to be a new group of kind of survivors from a settlement here, and they're trying to escape through the forest from the infected. Samson gets hold of this guy, and man, it's a pretty chilling scene here. You see Samson kind of like clawing this guy's face, and I mean, what a horrible way to die, it really is. And he does that signature move where he rips the head with the spine out of the body, man. And this guy's in for a bad day, that's for sure. But yeah, so Samson's attacking this random archer. And where did the archer come from? What happens to him? Does he survive? A lot of big questions here. Maybe Samson leaves him and just infects him. Maybe Samson rips his head off. But I would love to know exactly what's going to be happening to this guy. They showed it in the trailer, so I think there's some sort of significance to maybe what happens to this guy. So we'll have to wait and find out. So we have this mysterious kind of small, quick clip in the trailer that shows Kelson in front of this fireplace. And he's wearing this kind of strange, almost kind of like welding mask, or this kind of like blacksmith costume. It looks like he's building something, but I mean, what exactly is he building? Is he constructing something here? It just raises a lot of questions, because it definitely looks like he's maybe forging a weapon, forging some sort of weapons or a device, maybe a defensive trap, if he knows the Jimmy gang is coming or something. Maybe he's just making defenses, maybe he's building an extension to the Bone Temple. But definitely it raised some questions, and I thought it was you know, kind of something very mysterious to put into this video. Just talking about him standing in front of this fire and constructing something. And I would love to know, what do you guys think that he's up to? I mean, he's a very intelligent guy, and I'm sure he knows a lot of different things and how to build things. And yeah, I would love to know what it is that he's working on, and maybe we'll get the answers to that in the movie. Hopefully we do. And that brings us to our final talking point of this video, talking about this mysterious person who seems to be hiding under this pile of bodies on the train. So the scene kind of starts off in the trailer. It's kind of showing the inside of the train. It's black, it's dark, it's nighttime. There seems to be a load of infected, either resting or sleeping, or potentially dead. I can't really tell if they're alive or not, but they seem to be kind of sitting in the seats. They're kind of all over the place, and then as the scene progresses, it shows a pile of bodies, and then something is moving underneath the bodies, but we can't see who it is, what it is, or what's going on. A lot of people could be speculating that this could be Cillian Murphy's character, Jim. It could be Kelson, I mean, after everything went to shit, and this could be basically after the infection breaks out, and Kelson is hiding under the bodies, or potentially Samson's chasing him and he's just hiding under the bodies, you know, masking his scent. There's so many possibilities here as to what could be going on, but the fact that this character is being hidden, it tells me that something of significance is happening here. Who is this character? Why are they hiding? Why are they under a pile of bodies? Because that doesn't just happen for no reason. So I would love to know, you know, who do you guys think this is, and what do you think exactly is going on here? Because it looks creepy as hell, and you know, I can't wait to see what this person is doing under this pile of bodies, and what exactly is happening in the context of this scene. So with that down, that brings us to the end of our video, looking at the biggest talking points and takeaway points of the Bone Temple trailer. This trailer has been all kinds of bonkers. It's more sinister, crazy, and it just looks all kinds of ridiculous. And I'm so here for it, guys. But there's so many questions, there's so many theories and speculations and talking points going into this movie. I cannot wait to see how all these different things play out and how they're resolved. And I'm going to be there day one. But guys, as always, if there's anything that I've missed, anything that I've skipped over that you've picked up on, please do jump down in the comment section and let me know. I'm only a one-person army here. If I do miss things, I'm only human, so I do apologize. But as always, go down into the comment section, leave your thoughts, your comments, your theories, your opinions, and anything else you want to talk about regarding this franchise. I love reading your guys' comments. You always come up with the best ideas and opinions about things, and I really do enjoy interacting with you guys in the comment section. So like I say, make sure you jump down there and let us know what you think. As always, thanks so much for being here, guys. Make sure you hit the like button before you leave. Consider becoming a subscriber to help support the content and the channel. I would really appreciate that. But most importantly, make sure you hit that notification bell so you don't miss out on any future updates regarding 28 Years Later, The Bone Temple. There's going to be a lot of content I'm putting out over the next weeks and months as we get closer to this movie. So that notification bell is going to be your best friend to make sure you don't miss out on any of that great content we have coming out. And with that down, I will see you guys in the next video.